Welcome back to the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. That is Cris Cyborg. Cris, how are you this afternoon?
I'm great. I did amazing training morning, afternoon, and I'm happy to be here and catch it up with you.
Yes, a lot to catch up on. Of course, you were at the boxing fights on Saturday for Mikaela Mayer. That must have been awesome to be a part of that. How was it going to see some live boxing?
You know, it was amazing to go. Me and the girls have a girl with me, Dione, and Justine will go. Gabby, my daughter, we go with the only girls. And watch Mikaela fight. It was tough, great fight. It was tough fight too. You know, she takes some punches, the girl, but you know she's give it some adjustment in the fight, and she's keeping the girl down. It was a great fight. Everybody excited for her there.
And how cool is it that you can bring your daughter to this as well, and she gets enjoyment out of it just as much as you do?
You know, she's really a guy who like to do boxing pads. You know, it's nice to bring her live and watch it. You know, watch your boxing live, and the girls, it's amazing.
Anytime we're talking boxing, I got to ask, any talks about you getting into the boxing arena anytime soon? Because I know people want to see you in there.
You know, I went to Miami, and then I have the opportunity in the Logan Paul fight. I have the opportunity to talk to Stephen Espinoza and his girlfriend too. And you know, for then amazing people, and for me, have the opportunity. For me, just tell me, Cris, this day we want to fight boxing. For me, it's going to be a pleasure. You know, it's one dream I'd like to become true, and be part of the Showtime family for me is going to be amazing.
I don't know if people realize in women's boxing, the rounds are only 2 minutes. In men's, they're 3, which is something that I know even took a while in MMA to do. And it's actually interesting, sort of talking about this because we just passed the anniversary of you fighting Gina Carano. That was back June 16th, 2009. That was the fight where they did allow full rounds for women. How does it sort of feel to be a part of history and being sort of a landmark fight in the change of having the fights longer for women in MMA?
You know, for me, the goal I always have in my career, in my life, is like to do the best in the women's MMA for the other girls coming. You know, everything I pass through, I know the another girl, young girl, gonna come down pass through. So this is the open the door for another one. I never come to sport for. I know some fighters begging and say, okay, I close the division, or the girls running for another. No. For me, when I'm stop fighting, I want my legacy continue with another girls. You know, this is the legacy thing. You know, when I start fighting, now I have a lot of girls fighting, and then now you see so many girls. Have some girls say, Cris, I watch your fight in Jacaranda, then I like to fight. So this make me a very emotional. And if you be able to watch this and listen and continue fighting, for me it's amazing. I want to continue doing this, bring the light for another girls.
And I mentioned how long ago that was that they changed the rules. When do you think we're going to see this in boxing? Because, you know, it's been, I mean, the women are getting more popular and you know, it just seems weird that they haven't increased that time limit for the women. Do you think we'll see it?
You know, eventually I believe it, then they're going to change, you know, because 2 minutes is very short minutes for you set up for finish the fight. You know, and I believe the girls showing, then did the MMA already. I think the girls already showing improving, you know, then being fighting, then doing good. I think they can prove they can do 3 minutes round. I think soon going to open up.
Yeah, same here. I think it's long overdue to get that done. It always seems like MMA and boxing are crossing over, and we had the latest edition of that this past weekend as well with Anderson Silva beating Julia Cesar Chavez Jr. What did you think of that performance? I thought Anderson looked amazing and a really big win for him in the boxing ring.
You know, Anderson Silva in Brazil is huge. You know, he's the GOAT in Brazil. You know, he's did amazing for the sport. And I think it's his dream too, the beginner to one boxing fight. And you see, he's 43 years old, doing great fight. You know, he's fought the guy, the BMW champion, boxing champion, and he's did it great. You know, I knew he was going to do great. He's really like boxing joy, and he's lived the dream now.
Yeah, he certainly is. And it makes me wonder how he would have done if he would have gone a couple of years ago, if the UFC would have let him. But that's a topic for another day because I was just so happy to see Anderson get that done. Speaking of MMA Brazilian legends, Vitor Belfort, it looks like he's going to be boxing Oscar De La Hoya coming up here pretty soon. What was your reaction to that? I was very surprised to see this.
You know, I didn't know if Oscar De La Hoya know how big and know how explosion fast, you know, Belfort is. I think it's going to be a tough fight for him, you know, but, you know, and then Belfort to have a pro boxing fight too. You know, they're going to be a very interesting fight. Great fight to watch.
Yes. Will you be watching? Because I'll probably watch. I'm not as excited for that fight as, say, like the Jake Paul and Woodley fight, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But are you going to be watching that fight?
Yes, I believe so. You know, it's nice to see one guy from MMA go to the boxing, do one boxing fight. it's nice to support, it's to support them for this. Yes.
And what were your thoughts about, Logan Paul saying that, Mike Tyson, he wants to see him on there as well. That's a little bit surprising. I don't know if he wanted to fight Tyson, but he said he wanted Tyson to be a part of the card.
Logan Paul, it's going to be different fight Mayweather because, Mike Tyson going to run around and, he's go for it. It's going to be very interesting fight. It's a tough fight too.
I mentioned Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. How do you think Jake Paul will do against Woodley? Because last time I checked, I think Paul was the betting favorite, which is interesting.
Jake Paul, he trained box for a little while. He's no little bit. He's better, And the Woodley is a former world champion too, and he's having more experience in MMA, but he's not focused too much in the boxing. But I know he's having some toughest and some great fight in his career, and I believe it's going to be a great fight. But Jake Paul, he came from boxing. He's have some boxing experience. It's going to be a great fight to watch.
Do you think Paul can beat him, though? That's the question, because, he's been doing is training boxing for 3 years. He's got really good trainers. Woodley's been doing MMA, which, is similar, but it's not quite the same thing. Do you think Paul can do it?
I really respect Woodley. I hope he's doing the right training, for be a great fight. It's a great fight. I always will support people from MMA going to the box. I think this is we together. But, I hope he's training well, and be ready for this fight. But I know Paul is going to be very, very, very ready, for this fight.
Yeah, should be very interesting. We have another Bellator card this weekend, Bellator 261, heavyweight interim title in the main event. But I actually wanted to talk about the co-main event because Liz Carmouche is back. She's going to be taking on that undefeated Japanese fighter. How do you think Liz will do? Because she's got the edge and experience, but it's always tough fighting an up-and-comer who's undefeated.
It's gonna be a tough fight for Kana, but I know she's came ready because she's for the title, but it's gonna be tough. Liz Carmouche have a lot of experience, a lot of fights. It's gonna be a great fight between them.
And some news outside of the cage, Ariel Helwani leaving ESPN, deciding to go back to MMA fighting. He's kind of like a freelancer, basically, so he'll be working for MMA fighting, going to be working for BT Sport. He's also doing some interviews on his channel, his YouTube channel, and Spotify as well. What did you think of this move? I thought it was very bold of Ariel, and, he's a guy that has a very strong brand. I think he's going to do quite well.
I really respect Ariel because you can see fans don't know too much, but they'll have a lot of reports. It's like UFC reporters. And if you see somebody step up for a sport like Ariel, he's keep his integrity and getting better at the sport. And I always support him. I just don't want to see his ESPN for MMA, but maybe one day I want to see his ESPN for NBA. So not just MMA word, but I really respect him. I'm very excited for him be the first one in his next show. Ariel is. I respect him because I believe he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT he always did support for the sport.
Yes, and the thing I always like about Ariel, he's not just covering the UFC, he's giving, shine to Bellator and other promotions as well. He's not someone who's just, like you said, sort of a mouthpiece. So that's been really cool to see as well. We'll see how that all goes. MMA Hour, by the way, back in August, I believe. So we'll be looking forward to that. We just had Father's Day over the weekend. Our Portuguese saying the week, I had to use it. How do you say Happy Father's Day in Portuguese?
Okay. Feliz
Dias
dos Pais.
Feliz hold on, I got to repeat that. So it's Feliz Dias
dos Pais.
Feliz Dias dos Pais.
Yes, nice.
There we go. That was good. That was one of my better ones, but it was a bit shorter, so it was a bit easier for me as well.
Good.
I know you had the virtual meet and greet last week. How did that all go? I know, eventually we'll get back to the real meet and greets, but it must be good to still get to interact with the fans and all that.
It's cool. It's cool to talk to them, have a lot of new ones. And then really curious to do some questions, be time with them. It's nice to give support, some love for them, especially, everybody stay now at home, now a little bit free, but, it's nice to give attention for them. And I hope soon my next fight will be open for the public and you can give the love the fans deserve.
Yeah, and let me ask you about that. How much do you miss having fans and being able to interact with them? Because I know that's a big part of being a fighter is, just to see the reaction of the fans wearing the Cyborg shirts and cheering you on and having the signs and stuff. I know everyone really hasn't had that over the last year. How nice is it when you do these virtual meet and greets to sort of see those fans and get to talk to them?
It's different. When you go to fight, there's no fans there. It's different. You don't have the same energy. Okay, it's cool because you can listen to your corner and everything. But when you go to the fight, you're ready to fight. So it's nice when you have the energy. It's nice when you walk and sometimes the fans crying because see you, they really love you. It's nice to see the love. It's really nice. And I miss that, and nice to have I have the time to be with the fans. And if you guys didn't sign up, go to my website, sign up. And I forgot to tell you, James, when you want to watch the preliminary fights in the Bellator, you guys can watch in my website.
There you go. Even better. Yeah. So if you want to watch the prelims there, she said it, CrisCyborg.com. Also the premium service, less than a cup of coffee. You get behind the scenes access. There's all types of stuff. The Q&A, the next Q&A, do you know when that'll be? Or I'm assuming it'll be soon, I would think.
I don't know the date yet, but I was telling it's going to be my birthday.
Oh, cool. Okay.
July 9, my birthday. I think my last time I scheduled for then.
Okay.
July 9, my birthday.
There you go. So you can join Cris for her birthday if you sign up for the premium service. It's definitely worth the price of admission. Before we go, just want to remind our audience, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Cris, you got anything you want to mention before you get out of here?
No, I'm just thankful for being here and keep training. See we're going to the next one, and I'm excited to soon for you guys be ready for my next one. Thanks so much.